And today's video we're going to be looking at a Ford remote control for a Ford Ranger, I think it is. This is supposedly completely dead after sitting around for a while, not used, and supposedly new batteries been put in it, and that didn't make it work. So I guess we're going to have to work out how to get this little thing off like that. And it should flick open with a screwdriver. Like so. We've got a CR2025. Not much else to really see there. Switches feel like they're okay. Do we have an LED or anything on this? I don't think we do we? That's annoying. So how you actually test if it's going or not is another thing. The battery's on some sort of holder. I guess the first thing is to check, do we have voltage to the circuit board? And we don't. Oh, I don't, do we? It's just a bit slow to get going, isn't it? Or is there something dicky here? Don't know why that meter's a bit slow to read it, but something seems dodgy to me. Because it wouldn't be impossible that you'd have a broken connection or something on these things. It's the sort of thing you find with them. That lifts up. I don't want to go too far because I might... Oh yeah, what do we got here? Is it just a... Oh yeah, it's like a little connector goes in there by the look of it. How do these actually come out, these batteries? I guess you flick that back. A smaller screwdriver would be more use, I guess. I'll try not to short it out too much. Oh, come on. It should sort of spin sideways, I think, that's it. Ah, so there's the negative. Everything's clipped back on now. Oh, and the positive's there. I might just check them. Never hurts to check these things. All looking good, but I might give them a quick clean if I can find my micro scrub stuff. Okay, let's give that a quick, doesn't it, just to shine them up a little bit, because sometimes even battery contacts that look fine have got something on them. It was actually this guy's, he had a remote for an air conditioning unit, like a heat pump. And he'd ordered another one off eBay or something, or some website. He said, "Oh, have a quick look at this one," and everything looked fine, but I cleaned the battery contacts in it and away it went again. So it sometimes pays to clean them. Oh, now I definitely don't have anything. Oh, there's something. It's just a solder dodgy here. Why is it hard to connect to? Almost worthy of a resolder when it's like that. So what have we got? We've got a little circuit board. It must go through these plated through holes to the other side, and probably something similar down this end. So I can't see where. There's a plated through hole there. Test point 1. But they also look like they connect to the positive. Oh, maybe that's it there. Test point 1, test point 7. I don't know. Should have 3 volts here somewhere, I guess. So there we go, 3.2 volts. So it's on this bit here. That all seems to measure fine. We've got a little adjuster. A Vistion. All I can really check is that the switches operate and not much else I can do with it. We've got an X1. Where does it actually output? Oh, you press there. Oh yeah, that makes sense. You press on that side of the battery and it pops out. Oh, nice one to label what sort it is, because people have a habit of taking things out and losing them or forgetting about them. L1. Another test point there, Volga, test point 6. Test point 5, no, I'm not sure I can do a lot with it. Test point 8. Test point 11, so at least they give you test points, but not much good if you don't know what they are. Test point 3 there. And room for a switch 3 there. I wonder what that maybe for ones with a, for wagons or something with a tailgate. You must find out what frequency these actually come out on. It'd be good to have, I think you can get testers for some of this sort of stuff to pick up whether they're outputting or not. Because there's not much else I can do with that. So I might see if I can find out a bit more info and we'll get back onto it. Now in today's video I'm going to continue looking at this car key. I actually ordered one of these things off eBay to test it out. And we need a 9-volt battery of all things. Whoops, I saw some LEDs flick up briefly. Oh, it's got an LED in it. Why you need an LED, but it looks like it's a torch as well as a little tester. Do we just press something next to it? Oh, it doesn't seem to do anything. I do have my car key thing here. Oh yeah, so there you go. That's 433 megahertz. I probably just doxed my car. How do we reset the thing? I guess it's only a frequency, isn't it? No, that's really good. But this one, when we press it, dead as. So that's interesting. I actually would have thought this was probably working, but goes to show. And I was wondering what that clunking noise was, but I guess that was my car doors going, since it's not that far away. So this thing, from sitting around, who knows why, but it's died. Oh, it's got an infrared one as well. I don't know what the input light or LED does. I guess we should probably read the instructions, but if I remember rightly, this has got all the voltage there on the circuit board, which it does. So what has died here? I think I checked the switches. Yeah, very interesting. I guess I can check whether the chip's getting a voltage. Q1, C5, L1, VD1. Diode maybe. Yeah, really weird for this thing to just die sitting around. If it's not the battery, then what on earth? B plus comes through. That's the second one there. Looks like it goes through a resistor into the switch possibly. Out of the switch towards the IC. Which would make sense. that the switch would supply power to the chip, I guess. How do we hook onto the B negative is the next problem. We'll have to solder a wire on there, and this can be half the trouble with these things. I should be able to do it even with the power on, just check the switch actually works, which it seems to do, and the other switch, which it seems to do. Now can we check if for a voltage should come out the other side? Well, I guess we can check for a voltage on the switch would be the first. Because, you know, it could be a plated through hole or something weird. Volts DC would be handy. Yeah, we've got 3 volts. And when we press the switch we should have the same. Except I can't really press it. Why do they design things like this? I don't know, but gotta use the same thumb, I guess, to connect and to press. Oh, still not getting anything. Come on. We know the switch is good. Horrible things to work on. I really need to solder. I'm gonna have to solder a wire on so I can at least access the negative. Might even just solder a capacitor or something on there. Since there's a cap handy, I'll just use that as a wire connection to that. So then we've got a proper connection to ground. Get a clip lead. Okay, so we'll put a clip lead on there to our negative. That way I'm not trying to fiddle around doing 5 different things. And we can actually connect to this thing. So we've got 3 volts. I'm sure it'll work now. What the? Well, that is interesting. That's got 3 volts. It's not pulling the voltage down, surely. Oh yeah, there you go. We're putting a short on there. There's something shorted. I was going to say those switches should be working, so there's your problem. We have something shorted on the B+, I guess. I wonder if one of these little caps or something's shorted out, or is it the chip itself? Well, I'll be damned. Well, we can leave that there. We'll go to beepy mode. Oh yeah, we're dead short. Ha! Well, that I wasn't expecting. I think I better take the battery off and out. Oh well, at least that shows there is definitely a fault in this thing. It's always nice having a tester though, just to prove 100%. I thought maybe the car wasn't talking to it or something silly because it had been away from it for a while. And you just got to get that out of your head that it's possibly running, but I didn't think of a short. That's a really interesting one. So where do I start trying to track that little so-and-so down? I mean, your most likely thing to fail is your switches because they're mechanically used. You know, could do one of the switches, or I doubt they, oh, is that grounded? No, so the metal on the switches is not grounded. So we can take them out of the equation, I think. What is across the power rail? Where does the earth even go for that matter? It's soldered to the battery. Might have to remove this plastic. Well, that might be a good idea. I mean, could there be something in here shorting somewhere? Can I even get that off because the positive terminal's there? I might have took this off before, I can't remember. Well, so that's touching, well, I guess that is the there's 2 little plated through holes. B+ obviously goes through the switches, it's on the other side of the switch. B- is like these little, although does that go to that switch? That wouldn't be the B+, would it? I don't know, because I can't see where it comes from. It wouldn't be touching this. I think that track goes back down, but I mean, it could be touching, it looks like it's touching something there, but I doubt that's going to be our issue. Let's just lift that up and make sure it's not something silly, because it's got to be something obvious, you would think. So that should be ground, yeah, and that one ground. So that's our ground here. What does that connect to? It goes in under the chip. Great. So possibly we've got a capacitor somewhere. I guess I could check all the caps for a short. That would give us at least an idea which caps are across the power. I think that's a resistor. There's one there, that little yellow thing. Fine, fine, fine. Hello. That's connected to a couple of big tracks. One of which is, yeah, definitely our positive. And we can probably say this is the negative trace. Oh no, wait, that's joined it to itself. Why is it a capacitor that's seemingly on a track that goes in a big circle around to itself? That doesn't make any sense, so that might be a bit of a... Am I seeing things, or does that track... It just goes around a circle with a capacitor across... What the flippin'... Well, that doesn't make any sense. That is the positive track, I think, because it's all connected to the positive. I don't see any breaks in it. So we've got a capacitor. C7 is seemingly connecting the positive to itself. In fact, there's a track going right under it. So Ford have put a little C7 in there for no reason a while ago. Well, I don't know if Ford made it, whoever made it. Well, that's the silliest thing I've seen in a while. From the look underside the board, that just goes in a complete circle. So I checked it. I checked that C2 one there. What else can I check? Maybe the chip's shorted or something. What's this little thing? Oh, there's another one maybe. That looks like a capacitor. Oh, that's an inductor. That's probably hooked to one of the rails, surely. No. VD1. No, that's fine. So it's going to be either the chip or this crystal thing, I guess. What's this other little... Is that a transistor? 3-terminal something. I hate being beaten by these things, but is it really worth trying to fix it? If the chip's gone, then, well, it's dead anyway. There's nothing I can do with it. VD we checked. There's another little cap there. I guess we should... Oh no, that's the V. There's nothing actually... Ooh. That's a resistor. That's an inductor. What's the resistor measure, just out of interest? Very shorted. That doesn't seem very much point having. It is a 122. So that's going into this thing. I wonder if that thing's shorter then. It's sure looking like it could be that crystal thing. If we've got a shorted resistor feeding one of the pins into it. What else have we got here? 104, 104, so is that like 100k or something? And we've got a 2-4, what's that little blue thing? No idea. Let's just measure those. Are they... Yeah, 100k. What's this blue thing? 24k, what does it say on it? 243, so 24k, so that's definitely a resistor. What's that grey thing? Did I check? Oh, that's a C1. Don't know if I checked across that. It's high. The fact that resistor there, where is it? That thing measures 0.2 ohms. And it should be like a 1.2k. And I think it just feeds straight into that crystal oscillator, which has got 43402 and then an E9IV on it. So that could definitely be shot. I don't really want to unsolder it without knowing, but I guess we can see, is it sort of, well, we're going to measure across everything shorted to ground. I don't know, should a crystal be connected to ground at all? It's got these other little pins on the end too. That's probably shorted. No. Oh yeah, I'm on the wrong setting. Oh, those two pins are connected, I take it. Oops, I've disconnected, I think. Shorted. Although I don't know what to really, but let's go to our grounds. How many pins are connected to ground? I guess, well, that case is going to ground. Which is probably those two pins under it. That pin is, I thought that was the pin connected to the resistor, that middle one, but maybe it's the end one. Ah, so the resistor isn't actually shorted to ground by the look of it. Something's shorting the resistor out, but it's not. Oh, okay, so it's not shorted to ground. But why is it measuring like it's got a short across it then? Yeah, it's only hooked to one pin. So this crystal I don't think is, yeah, it's weird the resistor measures as shorter, but anyway, that might just be a complete waste of time. Well, I cut the little track there, you can just see a little bit of copper hopefully there, and I've got a knife and disconnect it from the chip, and the short is on the chip side, so it looks like this thing's not going to be repairable. I mean, it's possible there's other tracks or something under there. So now I've got no connection there, and I think that's that fourth pin. But that bit of copper there, which is on the other side of the switch, is now disconnected from the chip. So like I said, could be something else under there or something, but I can't see anything else that it would be connected to, and I've sort of checked the main parts, so it's possible something I've missed. But I think there's a good chance that chip is shot, and that does all the code and everything, so there's really no fixing that. But yeah, a bit odd that just this remote was left lying around, I think, for a while and not used for a couple of months or something, and then it decided to die. So I don't know why that would, or if that had anything to do with it, or if it's just coincidence, but that's all that seems to have happened. Just wasn't used for a while and it wouldn't work when you went to use it again. But not much I can do with it, so I'll just put that back together, and he'll have to organise another one. And I mean, they're only about $40 or something on eBay anyway. I think it's for the right year. And but then you've got the hassle of, you've got to get someone to code it to your vehicle. So that's probably more of the hassle than anything. It would have been a lot easier just to fix this one if it was something simple, rather than having to go to all that hassle. But it's not the end of the world. They're not that expensive. I think that was something like that. Hope it was. So I'll give that back to him, he can sort that out. And yeah, this little gadget is an interesting one. So, and the other thing, that's got infrared on it as well, but it seemed to work rather well. Oh, you meant to put the transmitter there somewhere. Anyway, it picked it up from nearby. Be interesting to see if these pick up things like cordless telephones or those sort of things. They might give you an idea whether those sort of anything with a transmitter in it's working or not. Let's try this little lighting remote. So it just shows that it's actually got an input, I guess. So this is a good little infrared tester as well, so it's handy to know. Maybe I can just mount this somewhere on the bench and I'll be just turn it on when I need to test it, either infrared or RF. So it's bigger than I thought. A lot of these little things you see on eBay, and they turn out they're a little tiny little thing that, you know, nothing like the picture, not what you expected. Bit digital display, 4-bit microcomputer measuring instruments, 2 front with a light, 3 built-in 9-volt battery, 4 to prevent falling off the line. So it's like it's got some weird instructions on it. I don't know if it had any info on the box or anything. They've just got the same thing on there. Quality products. So what brand is it? It's this HB by the look of it. It's not even on the unit itself by the look of it. We do have some sort of instructions, and they're even in English. Is a test wireless remote control frequency instrument. Test the frequency of the remote control completely and test the infrared induction is good or bad. It is convenient if you adjust the frequency you need when preparing the remote control. Yeah, I don't think it did anything. Yeah, the infrared remote just flashes, no sign of any frequency. I was wondering whether it gave you something along those lines. On off is a power key for external frequency line test. When you're close to the frequency meter placed in the test area, press the remote control to open. You can test the frequency of the remote control, clearly displayed frequency value. Effective test range is no more than 5 centimeters. Close test areas, the more accurate the measured value will be. Car key frequency generally 320 to 434 megahertz or 868. Lighting is the key to turn on the front lighting. The front instrument is equipped with LED lighting, which is more convenient in bad light places in use. So yeah, it's a little torch thing. Input is an infrared input indicator. We'll need to test remote control of the infrared light by clicking on it. The red light shows the infrared output is normally emitted. The indicator is off the remote control, infrared emitter failure, damage and other reasons. IR is infrared receiving lamp. Matters need attention. When testing some electronic signal, interference sources should be avoided, such as signal towers, base station, telephone poles, sending and receiving text messages, etc. So it might pick up your mobile phone as well, or that'll just overload it or something. So not much in the way of instructions, but it's a pretty simple little device. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have a LED light torch type function. I did see it said something about infrared remote, so that's good to know. It's just a good infrared remote tester like you would use for normal television or VCR remotes, as well as car ones, obviously, if they are actually in infrared. Sounds like they do make infrared car remotes. But anyway, that's all I can do with this one, so he'll have to buy a new Ford key and get that coded up to his vehicle. But at least I've got something now that actually tests these things. It would have been handy in the past, because often you really didn't know. But I don't think I ever had something that I couldn't normally fix or find out that it was unfixable without one of these. But I always thought it'd be a problem if you ever had like a cordless telephone or something and you couldn't tell if it was working. Whether this would pick up their frequencies or not, I don't know. But hopefully this thing that says 100 megahertz to 1 gigahertz, so anything under 100 megahertz, which some of those phones I think were more like down the 27 megahertz and stuff range. So it's not going to pick up older stuff, but anything with a higher range it will pick up. So I'm going to have to see if I can find anything around here that might be in that sort of range. But yeah, handy little bit of test gear. I think it's only $30–40 delivered, so not exactly expensive. One more thing with this, I thought I'll just, knowing how crazy electronics are, I'll just test this Ford remote on the radio tester, and would you believe the unlock key actually does something now. So I don't know whether it'll run the vehicle or not. So that's with that chip disconnected, we now seem to have unlock. Lock doesn't do anything. But the unlock is doing something, so I'm going around there later today, so we'll try that on the car and see if the unlock actually works. That'll be quite interesting if it does. I can't imagine it will, but that other switch did look like it fed a different part of the circuitry. So I just thought, I wonder if it actually at least enables a little oscillator to run or something. So it might just be putting out a frequency like a radio pulse and nothing else. But that's certainly interesting. So there you go. The wonders of modern electronics and the way they design these things. So I just thought it would be worth a try, and well, there you go. I never would have expected it to really do anything, but I thought I've got to try that because you never know in this world. It's a strange place the way these things are. So it'll be interesting to try it on the car. I'll get back, and if it does actually work on the car, I'll let you know. Otherwise, thanks for watching.